250 years ago, a new nation stepped onto the stage of history. Not perfect, not without struggle, not without contradiction. Yet from its earliest days, many believed America was more than a political experiment. They believed it rested on moral truth. They believed liberty required virtue. And they believed that human rights came not from kings, governments, or courts, but from God. Today, debates continue about what shaped America's founding. But this is not merely a discussion about documents. It is also a story told in the words of those who built, defended, and preserved this nation. Many of America's founders spoke openly about faith, morality, and divine providence. The Declaration of Independence itself appeals to the laws of nature and of nature's God. It declares that human beings are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Those words matter. Rights were not described as gifts from government. They were described as gifts from God.
Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports.
George Washington believed religion and morality formed the foundation of public life. Not merely private belief, but a stabilizing force for a free republic.
Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other.
John Adams argued that liberty could not survive without moral restraint. A constitution alone could not preserve freedom. Character mattered. The founders did not all agree on every doctrine. They came from different traditions. Some were deeply Orthodox Christians. Others held broader religious views. But many shared one conviction: a free society required moral citizens.
Reason and experience both forbid us to expect that national morality can prevail in exclusion of religious principle.
Whether spoken in formal addresses, private writings, or public statements, many early American leaders believed Scripture shaped personal responsibility. Education often included biblical instruction. Churches formed the center of many communities. Public virtue was considered essential. Not because government could create morality, but because freedom collapses when virtue disappears. America's story was not free from conflict. The nation faced division, injustice, war, and deep moral failures. Yet during its darkest moments, leaders often turned toward God.
The Almighty has His own purposes.
During the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln spoke often of providence, not with arrogance, not claiming certainty, but recognizing that nations, like individuals, stand accountable before God. His words carried humility, the recognition that history is larger than politics. Generation after generation, American leaders continued to connect liberty with faith.
The foundations of our society and our government rest so much on the teachings of the Bible.
Calvin Coolidge believed the moral foundation beneath American government mattered as much as the laws themselves.
If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under.
Ronald Reagan reminded Americans that freedom cannot survive on economics or military strength alone. It depends on what people believe. It depends on what they teach their children. It depends on whether truth remains larger than self-interest. America at 250 is not simply a celebration of survival. It is a moment to remember, to ask what ideas shaped this nation, to consider what beliefs sustained it, and to recognize that many who built America believed freedom was inseparable from faith. Not faith enforced by government, but faith that shaped conscience, faith that restrained power, faith that grounded liberty in something higher than man. 250 years later, the conversation continues, but the voices of history still speak. And they remind us that for many Americans, the story of liberty was always connected to the story of God.